Asariko and hi everyone. This is the fifth part of Unit 3 Elasticity. Our last elasticity is the price elasticity of supply, which measures how quickly and how much producers respond to changes in price. In other words, it tells us how much quantity supplied changes when there is a change in the price of that good. To measure price elasticity of supply, we use the formula percentage change in quantity supplied over the percentage change in price. Now, how do we interpret price elasticity of supply? If price elasticity of supply is more than 1, supply is elastic, which means producers respond quickly and quantity supplied changes more than proportionally. This usually happens when producers can easily increase output, like in the case of manufactured goods. If price elasticity of supply is less than 1, supply is inelastic, which means producers cannot respond as easily, and quantity supplied changes less than proportionally. This happens when it's hard to adjust production quickly, like the agricultural products, or goods that require long production times. If price elasticity of supply equals to 0, supply is perfectly inelastic. No matter how much price changes, quantity supplied stays the same. Like seats in stadium, they cannot just add more immediately. If price elasticity of supply is infinite, supply is perfectly elastic, which means producers can supply any amount at a certain price, but supply drops to 0 if price falls below that level. Moving on to the determinants of price elasticity of supply. There are few key factors that determine how responsive producers are to price changes. First, it is time period. In the short run, it's often hard for producers to adjust quickly, so supply is less elastic. But in the long run, they can invest in more resources or equipment, making supply more elastic. Secondly is availability of resources. If producers can easily access raw materials, labor, and equipment, they can respond faster to price changes, making supply more elastic. The third determinant is production feasibility. If the good is easy and quick to produce, like bread, supply tends to be more elastic. But for complex or time-consuming products like aeroplanes, supply is less elastic. Then we have storage capacity. If producers can store the product easily, they can quickly release more supply when prices rise. This makes supply more elastic. Perishable goods or products that are hard to store are less elastic. And last but not least is cost changes. If increasing production leads to higher costs, supply will be less elastic. But if producers can scale up without big cost increases, supply is more elastic. The key determinant of price elasticity of supply is time period. How responsive producers are to price changes often depends on the time they have to adjust. We can break this down into 3 time frames: immediate or very short run, and long run. In the immediate short run, producers cannot adjust output at all. Supply is perfectly inelastic, which means even if the price rises, quantity supplied stays the same. For example, farmers cannot suddenly produce more crops overnight. In the short run, some adjustments are possible, but not everything can change. Producers may increase output slightly by working overtime or using existing resources more intensively, but they cannot build new factories or plant new crops yet. So, supply is somewhat elastic, but still limited. In the long run, producers have enough time to make full adjustments. They can invest in new equipment, hire more workers, or expand production facilities. This makes supply much more elastic, as they can fully respond to price changes and scale up production. Here are real-world examples of price elasticity of supply. The first is natural rubber. The supply of natural rubber is inelastic, especially in the short run. This is because rubber trees take years to grow, and farmers cannot quickly increase supply when prices rise. Even if prices go up, it takes a long time to plant, grow, and harvest. The second example is manufacturing goods. The supply of manufactured products is generally more elastic. If prices rise, factories can often increase production quickly by using extra shifts, adding machinery, or increasing orders for raw materials. So the quantity supplied can respond faster to price changes, especially in the medium and long run. Try these exercises on price elasticity of supply.